Hi-ho neighbors, Rado Gucci here.
And I'm Soylent Greg.
And welcome to a special Squeeze the World video thing.
The Squeeze the World E3 Roundup.
Yeah, well,
everyone has an E3 Roundup.
I was going to call it the obligatory E3 themed video, but that works too.
E-E-E.
The Electronic Entertainment Exposition. That's what that stands for.
Is that really what it stands for?
Yeah, it is.
Wonderful.
So, seeing as we're not really doing anything major as far as LPs go this week, I decided, and Greg agreed. Just talking about E3, I guess, but neither of us are really super in the know, so we're just going to be shooting the shit in front of the camera.
So if you made this your number one E3 reporting station...
Thank you.
Yes. Give me the address where I need to send the fruit basket.
Tenkaichi.
I'll send you some high-end pornography made specially for gamers.
We don't make high-end anything.
No, we're the bottom of the top of the barrel.
that should be our like actual slogan.
Something like that.
We're
the slowest kids in the fast class.
I was
backwards.
I don't know.
Scratch that, reverse it.
Fastest kids in the slow cat. We're on YouTube.
We are, and that's something, and that's something that no one can take away from us,
unless they delete this.
Yeah.
Anyway, I know I really don't have too much to talk about D3 because I'm a grumpy misanthrope, and I am not excited for like anything anymore. I have seen.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but I have seen, articles here and there about certain games and things that are, coming out. And if anything, like, I've ignored EA's stuff for the most part because I basically decided a long time ago to stop giving EA money. Not sure why everyone else hasn't.
It's a wise decision.
And then the other one I basically ignored was the Microsoft one because I neither have Windows nor an Xbox, so...
That's true.
I think, like, the only thing that I would have cared about... from what I understand, Devil May Cry 5 was announced during that?
To be fair, the Microsoft presentation was mostly games that are not... was almost entirely, I believe, games that are not Microsoft, or what's the word I'm looking for?
Exclusive?
Yes, platform exclusive. I think with the sole exception, I believe, of the DLC for Cuphead.
Well, I think they talked, from what I understand,
Cuphead's on PC.
they talked about like a Forza game, and I think there's a new Halo game coming out or something.
All of those will be be available on Windows 10 through the whole sharing system that they do now. That's why they have 18% of the console market as opposed to like the 78% of
what Sony has.
Sony, yeah.
I kind of sort of think of Xbox One and Windows 10 as kind of like the same thing because that's how Microsoft wants. So I basically look at it as Microsoft exclusivity rather than like Xbox exclusivity because it's not really a thing anymore. It's like it's kind of like Microsoft doesn't want the Xbox to be there anymore. They're trying to focus more people on getting on PCs again. At least from what I've seen. I could be wrong. I don't do research. I just
we don't do research or preparation.
I just do
notes or scripts.
I do what a lot of game journalists do, and I just talk out of my ass.
Watching either. Yeah, we're actually doing as much work as Polygon and Kotaku. Actually, you know what? To be fair, they watched the entirety of the E3 presentations, probably.
And we're doing a lot less trying to.
There goes my glasses.
Sorry.
It's okay. I'm gonna do the rest of this video with one lens in my glasses.
We're actually not shoehorning in political bullshit into our stuff too. So
I shoehorn political bullshit into my shit all the time. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you do that.
Everybody makes presentations at E3. There was the Microsoft presentation, the EA presentation, the Sony presentation, the Nintendo presentation, the ColecoVision presentation, the Intellivision presentation,
Chemco,
the Boeing presentation,
Kellogg's maybe,
the Canadian Tire presentation.
I did see some things that sort of piqued my interest. Like when I heard about Elder Scrolls 6, I was like, yeah, Elder Scrolls 6 is probably going to be a good game. I'll be sure to pick that up about a year after it comes out when all of the bugs are out of it. I'll just wait for the Ultimate Edition to come out, because that's going to...
Bugs out of it?
Most of them.
What say you? Yeah, I mean, that looks interesting. It certainly... There were fewer... I will say this. There were fewer unnecessary Battle Royale games than I expected. Yeah. There were a couple, but not a huge amount. I think it's going to take a while for
they had enough
development time to catch up with the Fortnites and the PUBG.
Yeah. And
the dogs.
And there's also the whole thing with, like, Fortnite's out on the Switch now, and that's a big deal. But and I think it's great that people... I mean, I don't play Fortnite. I don't play games like that, but I think it's great that people have downloaded... so many people have downloaded onto the Switch. It's just I do kind of wish there were more people that could play it.
Yeah, Sony are being dicks. If you haven't heard this, Sony is not allowing cross-play between the PlayStation 4 and the Switch. So if you have a Fortnite account, like I do, that has ever played on the PlayStation, it can be played on your phone, on a tablet, but it cannot be played on the Xbox One or the Switch. Which is frustrating in a game that's so tied to progression as Fortnite is. There's an article in, I think, The Verge that makes a pretty good point
everywhere about this.
A pretty good point that there's really not... If you have a PlayStation 4, there's really no point to playing Fortnite on the Switch in TV mode. The only real purpose of playing Fortnite on your Switch is to play it in a portable mode in some form where you wouldn't be able to play it on your TV, which is what I would do with Fortnite on the Switch.
Yeah.
So there's really no legitimate reason for Sony to block it because it's not competing with them in the same square. It's competing with them it's competing with the tablets and the phone versions of the game. And from what I understand, I haven't actually gotten around to playing the Switch version of Fortnite yet, but it is very heavily based around the sort of iOS, iPad version of the game, which would make sense.
In my opinion...
But with buttons.
I don't think it is big of a deal that Sony doesn't like cross-play. I mean, if that's something they want to do to avoid competition, stuff like that, and then that's their call. What I don't like is how they're basically saying... Your Epic account, if it's linked to the PlayStation, then you can't play it on any other system no matter what. That's bullshit.
Yeah, that's pretty bullshit. You should be able to carry over your levels and, a lot of people... It's a free game, but a lot of people, not me, but a lot of people have shelled out money for season passes, for hacks, for fancy parachutes, and all sorts of things.
Especially when it's considering a kind of account that Sony really has no control over. It's based off of Epic, which I think is I think that's the name of the company that makes it.
Yes, Epic Games makes Fortnite, but no, this is on Sony because Sony also does not allow.
I forgot Epic Games that's Cliffy B's thing, isn't it?
Well, Cliffy B quit.
Oh well, that was his thing though.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there we go. Okay. Because this isn't the first time that Sony has done this. Sony also fucks with Rocket League. Rocket League you can do crossplay between Xbox One and PC, between Xbox One and the Switch, between the Switch and the PC, but you can't, nothing crossplays with Rocket League on the PlayStation 4.
Same thing with Minecraft, actually, now I think about it.
Yeah, so, Sony is, there's Nintendo, but Sony is, no friendo. Get it?
I'm gonna let that go.
Yeah. What you call crossplay, I call the rape of the video game industry.
Okay.
The natural video game industry.
I'm fairly sure that I'm just kind of spitballing here. I'm fairly sure that Greg is excited for the Resident Evil 2 remake coming out.
Yes. I was actually gonna propose we do a couple questions to keep this discussion focused.
Okay.
What do you think you are most excited about after seeing most of the E3 presentations? We saw like E2, E1.5.
I didn't see any presentations in their fullest.
You fuck.
I only saw part of the Nintendo Direct, and the only game that Nintendo even talked about is Smash Brothers.
Oh yeah, pretty much.
I mean, I know they said other things like, Super Mario Party is coming out, which I don't care. I haven't cared about Mario Party in years.
They debuted a lot of games that my son cares about. Super Mario Party, definitely. Smash Brothers, he is ape shit for Super Smash Brothers. So,
I mean, if there was anything I would come close to really being excited for, it would be Smash Brothers, but I'm still on the fence about whether or not I'm actually going to get it and play it. I mean, if anything, there's still some, amiibos I want to get for, I know that they're all, universally compatible, but I want them, I want the Bayonetta amiibo now, because I played Bayonetta fairly recently.
Yes, you did. Excellent game.
And I think it's a cool idea that they're bringing back every single character from every single game in the series so far. But just like Daddy Sakurai said, this is pretty much like a big undertaking, and we really hope that you're not expecting there to be many more new characters, and I can understand that.
When it comes to the number of characters that are going to be in the Switch and forcing them all in there, I think we can confidently say, choke me, Daddy.
I think there was another point that was made is that Sakurai said that he... I don't know if he outright said it, but he implied that this might be the last one. I mean, he said that about the last game.
That's fair. I think Hideo Kojima has said that about every Metal Gear Solid game, I think.
But then you've got the fact that it's called Smash Brothers Ultimate, and what does Ultimate mean? Last. That's what it means.
BioShock Infinite was the last BioShock game.
That would have been BioShock Ultimate then.
Infinite, Ultimate.
Those are two completely different things.
You didn't go see Avengers Ultimate War? With the Ultimate Gauntlet?
Ultimidity War.
Ultimate Gauntlet? Yeah.
No, I didn't see that.
Crisis on Ultimate Earths? No? Nothing? Okay.
But I mean, there's just... I mean, every time I go to Nintendo Life, I have to, weave through the tens of millions of, Smash Brothers clickbait articles that they're putting up. And, to actually see any other news besides that. I mean, the only other things I know about the Switch were that A, Metroid Prime 4 was not being shown at E3, which I think was a mistake. B, there's a No Man's Sky-esque Skylanders game coming out that I don't care about. And that Mario Party game. But I guess Smash Brothers, so nobody else cares. That's... I mean, just outside of, a few other...
Well, I was going to say games. What was the biggest dud for you, and it probably would have been the lack of a Metroid Prime.
Possibly. By default.
Most looking forward to Cyberpunk, Death Stranding, and I'm totally blanking on the fucking name, but it's the hashtag, the subtitle is Shadows Die Twice, the new game from. It's it starts with an S, it's a Japanese word, and I'm really sorry that I'm completely fucking blanking on it on camera.
I don't even know what the name of it. I know what you're talking about, though, but I don't know what the name of it is at all.
I'm not the sort of person who normally... I'm jaded particularly when it comes to advertising copy for entertainment software. So I'm not typically the sort of person who gets hot for teasers. I typically like to actually see a game before I get hype for it, before that hype starts to build in my chest and I start to be able to picture myself playing this game with a beer in my hand after everyone in the house has gone to bed. Mm-hmm. But Cyberpunk, oh man. Oh, I love you, CD Projekt. CD Projekt, you made one of my very favorite video games in The Witcher 3. It's phenomenal, and if Cyberpunk is able to capture 2/3 of the majesty and grandeur of that in what's essentially from what we understand, a first-person, almost Deus Ex sort of
RPG.
Deus Ex sort of
game.
No, like it's the heir to something. I don't remember. A first person like Deus Ex inspired RPG. I'll be extremely happy. Death Stranding looks weird as fuck. I have no idea.
Par for the course for Kojima, though.
I love. He's never been this fucking weird, which I kind of love. Except for like the second half of Metal Gear Solid 2, then he was that weird. But I love that he brought like a life-size Norman Reedus with him to E3, dressed in like the suit that his character will be wearing. No, it gets better. Dressed in the suit that his character will be wearing at least part of Death Stranding. And then Kojima cosplayed as the Norman Reedus statue. It reminded me of like David Lynch walking up and down like Hollywood Boulevard with like a cow on a leash as part of his like one-man campaign to try to get Laura Dern nominated for an Oscar for Inland Empire. Like, this man has completely gone off the deep end, and we know nothing about it. We're assuming it's going to be like a third-person semi-open world game because it's based on the same. It's not based on the same. It's built on the Decima engine, the same engine that powers Horizon Zero Dawn, which is a fucking beautiful game, if nothing else. So, shut up and take my money, Kojima. I love you. And Shadows Die Twice. Oh my god! We're gonna have, there's actually gonna be a point next year where people say, I'm so tired of these ultra-hard Dark Souls-inspired samurai games. Because we've got 3 of them coming out next year. You've got Nioh 2. Mm-hmm. You've got Ghosts of Tsushima, which has been, delayed and has been waited for fucking years. And you've got this samurai game that's coming out from Software. And it looks like Bloodborne, I'm sorry. Bloodborne with samurais, and you have a Spider-Man grappling hook.
Oh, okay.
Sold. I'm done. As soon as whatever From was gonna make next, I was probably gonna buy it, unless it was something completely ridiculous, because I am a nut for the Dark Souls series, and I'm down for this crazy fucking samurai game. I cannot believe we've gone from, in 2 years we're gonna go from there's 1 samurai Dark Souls game to there's 3 and we're going to be tired of the concept. Or it's going to usher in a new renaissance in video games.
Everyone's going to be making...
And a renaissance in culture and politics and life. Everyone will be living by the samurai code. Everyone will... Your boss will commit seppuku right in front of you. And his wages will be distributed to you. Gold coins will drop from his corpse like a Goomba in Mario Brothers. And all of us shall feast on the souls.
And then they'll make sequels and put Battle Royale modes in them.
Yes, I hope Battle Royale modes give away to ultra hard samurai modes of every game.
Samurai modes.
I want an ultra hard samurai mode for the next Far Cry.
Call of Duty.
I want fuck Call of Duty Zombies. I want Call of Duty Samurai. Samurai Call of Duty. So yeah, that's what really blew me away in E3. In terms of that was the next thing I was gonna say. What was the biggest flop for you, or what was the biggest thing that you wanted to see in E3 that we didn't see?
I guess Metroid Prime 4. Anything about the new Pokemon game that's coming out next year? Not the Let's Go Pikachu or Eevee stuff. I mean, if you're excited for those, good for you. But
wrong arm.
I'm not.
I keep fucking this up.
I was never a really big fan of Pokemon Yellow to begin with, and I mean, Fire Red and Leaf Green were fine because they had more of Red and Blue in mind, but I don't need a remake of Pokemon Yellow. What else would I have liked to have seen?
We need remakes of everything.
Well, they're the only good games left.
Everything old is new again. Well, I just told you about 3 brand new games that are
I know. I'm just
none
fucking
of them are
with you.
sequels.
I'm just fucking with you, dude.
I mean, let's be fair. There's at least a 50-50 chance at this point that Death Stranding is a fucking train wreck. I'll admit that.
Yeah.
But I still feel, you know, why wouldn't you throw $60 at it? Like, what, are you going to spend that on, like, the next fucking Destiny game that's going to be a boring, soulless loot
People will.
With just enough cutscenes and just enough cool shit to keep you playing? Or are you going to enable some crazy motherfucker's vision? And you know he's not spending it on coke and hookers. Because he's Kojima. He's spending it on Zizek novels and fucking Guro manga, because that's Hideo Kojima.
But didn't they announce that there was going to be like a new expansion for Destiny 2? And did people actually care about that?
There's going to be like 3 expansions for Destiny 2.
Did Square Enix talk about the new DLC chapters for Final Fantasy 15?
Fuck if I know. I didn't watch the Square Enix presentation.
The only thing I know about from the Square Enix thing was they finally announced a release date for Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh yeah, my wife's excited about that.
So I still have yet to play through more than an eighth of a Kingdom Hearts game, but you know, good for people who said it looks good from what I've seen.
I think my number one biggest, other than of course No Man's Sky not getting its just because a game came out a year ago does not mean it can't headline at E3 again. You know, no, I'm just fucking with you. But the biggest disappointment probably for me was, and this is going to sound awful, but just sort of the Nintendo presentation in general. We heard a little bit about stuff, but I mean, obviously it's Smash Brothers, and that's a huge franchise in the Nintendo ecosystem.
Yeah.
And it's going to sell. It's going to sell millions and millions of copies, and it's going to be a huge thing this holiday season. But if you're not really a Smash person, and I'm not hugely into Smash outside of playing it with my kid, it's not that big of a it's a tentpole. But Nintendo has at this point so many tentpoles that they can throw out there. You know, we don't have a new Metroid game. We don't have a sizable Switch Pokemon game.
Yeah, I mean, they said they're making one and it is going to come out late next year, but they don't have any details on it yet.
Oh, the other thing, though, that they did announce I was really happy about, there's going to be a new Fire Emblem game, and it's going to be like a strategy game like Awakening and Fates. I love those games.
I'm not a Fire Emblem
They're
fan.
like fantasy XCOM, but with more... And I know I just pissed somebody off if anybody's watching this, because XCOM predates... Or no, I'm sorry. Fire Emblem fucking predates, like, XCOM, particularly in Japan. But, how dare you compare it to that? That's like comparing... That's like saying that,
You could just keep it out, couldn't you?
Yeah, fuck it. That's like saying that, like, Mario is, like, a really good Rayman. Like, I don't fucking know. I come up with the worst shit. But yeah, that was probably the biggest disappointment. We're at the point now where I feel like we should be hearing about more franchises from Nintendo. Like, I kind of feel like we should be getting hints of what they're doing next with Mario Kart, since I mean, we just got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but that's an enhanced port for the Switch.
Right. I mean,
and we saw nothing about Bayonetta 3, which I have been looking forward to.
Well, they did do another. They did do another direct or something like that. They did another Treehouse thing earlier today, but I don't.
Today?
Yeah, because they spread it out over 3 days. But I'm fairly sure it was just more Smash Brothers stuff.
Fuck. Oh well, okay. Well, maybe I'm not wrong. And since I'm maybe not wrong, I'm not wrong.
So yeah, I'm kind of glad that they're not going for, you know. I mean, with Zelda, we just had Breath of the Wild, and with Mario, we just had Mario Odyssey, which is like
I don't feel that there's any pressure to put out a new Mario game, because not only is Mario Odyssey awesome and like just over a year old, but they're still producing downloadable content for it. I don't think that they need to come out with anything on Mario for like another couple of years. Things that they've released ports for. I mean, Breath of the Wild was originally a Wii U title. It's the Twilight Princess of the Switch.
Yes,
it was put out on release day on the Switch. So there wasn't that big of a gap between Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword.
Except with Twilight Princess, the GameCube version was still better than the Wii version.
It was. I played it on the GameCube. And I originally played Breath of the Wild on the Wii U, but times change.
Still haven't played Breath of the Wild on the Switch, though. So
it's really good.
I know.
It honestly, like, you wouldn't think that having it in portable mode would change it up significantly.
I played it.
Really does.
I played it in portable mode on the Switch or on the Wii U, though.
It's not the same thing.
It's not?
That Wii U tablet is god awful.
It's not.
That's one of the.
I like that.
One of Nintendo's great missteps.
I like it a lot. I still like it. I use it while
watching TV. You don't have a kid at home who's broken it 3 times.
No, I don't, and I like it. So
it's garbage.
No, it's not. I can watch TV and still play shit like I can play Twilight Princess while watching TV.
I have to spend a bunch of money to buy a decent controller if I don't want to play Bayonetta with my arms like Bayonetta 2 with my arms like fucking this. No. You need a comfy controller, which they understand with the Joy-Cons.
I guess.
Hey, we actually got in an argument on the podcast. How fucking dare you, you piece of shit!
How dare you have a different opinion than me?
Go back to your fucking safe space!
I should be the one telling you that.
Well, I'm saying it ironically.
I know. Yeah. I don't recall seeing anything about Dragon Quest Builders 2.
No.
I think they were just too busy getting caught up in Kingdom Hearts 3, but...
Do you think you can even answer the question of who you think had the best and worst presentation?
No.
Okay.
EA had the worst because EA is the worst.
I probably, from what I've seen, would have either given it to Square Enix, or Microsoft. Microsoft's presentation was objectively really good, but really bad when you paired away everything that was just the exclusive first trailer of something that's multi-platform. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure Microsoft was where the Cyberpunk 2077 trailer was first dropped. PlayStation, definitely the best. You know,
I guess.
They're the 900-pound gorilla of the console market right now. They have like 70+% of the market share. How about that? Last of Us 2. I'm kind of worried about Last of Us 2. Honestly, don't tell anybody.
I saw.
It's not because of the gay kissing. It's not. It's because they don't have Amy Hennig anymore, and the Uncharted 4 spin-off game was shit. And because that's like a reason for like a chud to like. Oh yeah. Ellie is a fucking queer. She's been queer since the fucking DLC for the first game.
I know.
And it's not like they didn't have what's his face from Deadwood. I can't remember his name.
All I can think of Deadwood is Al Swearingen.
Man, Al Swearingen in The Last of Us would have been awesome.
Cocksucker.
I'm just worried because I kind of see Naughty Dog going on the same trajectory as BioWare. They haven't like had a huge
getting bought out by EA and sucking.
They haven't had a huge misstep yet, but they're kind of at that like Uncharted 4, like the spin-off game, whatever the hell it was called, The Lost Legacy or whatever. It reminded me a lot of like the Dragon Age Inquisition Mass Effect 3 stage of BioWare, where they're not like actively bad, they're just kind of bland and treading water. So I'm probably wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I laugh at this fucking video when Last of Us 2 comes out and is the greatest game that's ever been gamed. But
well, that's what they said about The Last of Us 1.
I am deeply, I am, concerned. And we're very pro-consumer here on Squeeze the World Gaming. Don't ever believe uncritically that a game is good. Try to temper your hype. When they show you videos of the game, the videos are doctored and photoshopped. Yeah. Don't buy a game until you watch footage of it online, you watch it on Twitch, you read reviews of it. Don't get taken in by shit like Battlefront 2 or
Battlefront
Sky.
What the fuck? They're releasing. They said they're releasing an expansion for Battlefront 2. I'm like, and it's based on Attack of the Clones, I think. And I'm like, who likes Attack of the Clones? B, who still plays Battlefront 2? Did people forgive them for the shit that they pulled?
I don't know. Apparently, well, they need to recoup those massive development costs.
So don't get caught up when like they're saying, "Oh, it's fine because it's got a new expansion that you can spend all of your money on to get Boba Fett or I guess General Grievous in this case."
I'd be okay if if they added the Attack of the Clones, as long as they did 3 things. They gotta add 3 things. 1, they have to have a voice. They have to add Anakin and have a voice clip of him when he's cutting people down, saying, "I don't like sand." Of course, it gets everywhere. 2, it's got to do that meme. You've got to have a toggle in there where you can do that meme where every time a ship blows up when you're playing Battlefront, it plays that clip of Obi-Wan saying, what was it? Another successful landing from Attack of the Clones. So every time you blow up a ship, and another successful landing. And 3rd, you've got to have Stephen Hawking voice Senator Palpatine. Have I ever told you the story of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
Isn't that from?
If you add all of those,
that's
probably right. You know what? I get those movies confused
because they were both terrible.
They're not terrible.
They are.
They're just this long, unremitting blandness.
I thought out of what my headcanon of Star Wars is.
Oh, sweet Jesus. Do I want to hear this?
Sure.
Does YouTube want to hear this?
YouTube's not going to hear it. Nobody's watching this.
If you're watching at this point, this is the point where it becomes a suicide cult. I start talking about Bjork, and then I put a gun underneath of my chin. That was a really dark joke.
Don't do that.
No, a guy did. Never mind.
No. Okay. So the only things in my headcanon for Star Wars are the original trilogy. I don't know how good The Last Jedi is, so I haven't watched that yet. But I put The Force Awakens in there. I put Rogue One in there. Shadows of the Empire, Rogue Squadron, and Dark Forces.
My headcanon for Star Wars is the Podrace scene from Episode 1. That's it. The Podrace is all that is real. The racers race, but they cannot escape. They cannot escape time.
They cannot beat Sebulba. He always wins.
They cannot. The immovable object hits the unstoppable force and becomes an endless loop of pod race.
The Episode 1 racer game was good, though.
Yes. It is all that exists.
But, like, in all honesty, like, even...
That's my headcanon for reality, actually. It's just the pod racing scene. And it ends with the scene where the guy falls out of the pod and goes poodoo. And then it starts over again. We hope that one day that man will reach enlightenment and not shit all over the movie by saying poodoo, but he never does. So he sinks back into the cavern of his own memories, like the necromancer returning to his grave.
I should never have done this.
Look, this is what you risk when you put me in front of a camera for an E3 roundup, completely unscripted.
I'm sorry. Well,
just be glad I haven't taken my shirt off.
Basically, when it all comes down to, like, even with the stuff that I've seen from E3, like, the number of games that I'm excited to buy and that I will buy day one still haven't changed. It's basically,
wrong hand.
Well, no, not zero. I mean, I'm going to buy New Gundam Breaker when that comes out. I'm going to get Mega Man 11, the Mega Man X Legacy Collection, Dragon Quest 11, and I don't even know if Dragon Quest Builders 2 is coming out this year, but if it is, I'm getting that. But I can't think of anything else that's been confirmed for this year that I'm going to be getting.
So, in conclusion, E3 is a land of contrasts.
I guess.
E. The mating call. of of the entertainment-producing corporation and its overworked programmers. E. You hear that? That's the sound of flatlining. That's the sound of all of our trust and love for the gaming industry going.
Have fun with Smash Brothers, everybody!